of in the past when PAS was there was an issue where Razale's time, was it Razale or Musa Hitam, I can't remember. There was a lot of trouble in one of the states where a lot of PAS members were shot.
Yeah. Okay. I think actually the majority of those people within the Central Committee are against the idea. But the people who are pro the idea are, how do I say this? I think are people who have minimal interaction with non-Muslims, right? And because of the fact that they have very little interaction with non-Muslims, they find it very uncomfortable working with the DAP and with PKR, who are also not all Muslims as well, right? It's okay when you are in the opposition, right? But the moment when you form a government, and say for example in Selangor, you had 8 from PAS, 15 from PKR. Now 15 from PKR, 7 are Malay Muslims. Sorry, 8 are Malay Muslims, 7 are not. So you've got 16, 8 plus 8 is 16. You've got 13 from the DAP plus the 7 from PKR, so you've got 20. So it's a 16 Malay Muslim plus and a 20 non-Malay, non-Muslim component, which is a Malay minority or Muslim minority government, faced with 18 UMNO and 2 MCA opposition. So it's a Malay minority government faced with a Malay majority opposition, and they found themselves in a very awkward position because they've never had the experience and the, how do you say, the extent of interaction, yeah, with non-Malays. And in particular, there were those who were fearful of the image of the DAP as being Chinese chauvinists, just as much as PAS was being portrayed as Muslim extremists. But unfortunately, they believe the part of about the DAP. Yeah? So the idea of forming a government with these people was, to some, very frightening. Right? So as a result of that, I think the option of working with UMNO was being presented, and as I said, they are more familiar, they are probably more comfortable, they find it easier to talk and discuss with Malays, Muslims, who you can quote the Quranic verses and you can quote the Hadith and people will listen. Whereas with the DAP and all that, you've got to come out with a different mode of discussion and debate, and it was one which they were not familiar with, and they found that it was very difficult. Yeah. So as far as the Central Committee is concerned, most of the members in the Central Committee, those who were elected, the majority are strongly in favor of working with Pakatan Rakyat. But those individuals who come from states, except Kelantan, with big, let me see, those individuals will come from states where there are big Malay Muslim majorities. Yeah? Some of them just cannot imagine a situation where you are in government with the DAP and your opposition. I mean, imagine, yeah, in Selangor State Assembly, 20 opposition, all 18 are Malay Muslims. Out of 20, 18 are Malay Muslims. In Perak, where you have 29, originally you had 29 opposition, and I think out of the 29, 27 are Malay Muslims. And you are in a government where you are only 8 are Malays and 23 are non-Malays. Yeah? So they found this situation completely different from what they had expected. Yeah? Because in the first place, nobody expected that we would form governments in the first place. Yeah? So when they managed to form government, then they found themselves in a Malay minority, very minority situation, particularly in Perak. It was, it was mind-blowing as far as they were concerned. Yeah. So they just couldn't relate. But that's where I'm very impressed with what was done by Nisa and Ahmad Awang, because they managed and they handled the situation very well. But it's the people who are outside of that, who imagine all these difficulties, and plus the fact that there was the attraction of positions within federal government, which made the option of working with UMNO Barisan Nasional a lot more attractive, right? So I think as far as most of the Central Committee members are concerned, they are fully aware of the political implications, and that's why the attempt was rejected. And I think it will be an ongoing battle within PAS until a clear position is made. And if you notice, those who are pro working with Barisan Nasional have never had the courage to say so out openly, because they know that that option is unpopular and would not be accepted. But it's something which is being done behind the scenes, and without the consent and without the knowledge of leaders and members alike.
I think there's the only opportunity you lot have to overthrow this Barisan Nasional government. And if they screw it this time, that's the end of it, I can see that. Because if the PAS members, for self-interest, want to be in the government, want positions in the government, and the next time around the electorate's going to vote them out for dissatisfaction.
Thank you.
I got like a far-fetched question. I've been out of Malaysia for a long time. What is the position of PAS if they come to power, and when they talk about Islamic law, are they referring to Sharia law? And how is this going to impinge on, you used the word Malays and Muslims as two separate entities. If I could make it non-Malays or non-Muslims, how would that affect that? We're not talking about 10 years, 20 years, we're talking about the future, the next generation.
Okay.
People at the back, was that the question?
Yeah. So
I didn't really hear your question. It would be better if you spoke
Then
I can follow up on your question in a
I'm
minute.
Malaysian, but I've been out of Malaysia for a few years now.
Why don't you take the mic?
I think I'm quite right. The issue I'm trying to make is, the gentleman has said up to now, is that PAS, the issues of PAS, he used the word Islamic law. I want to know where does Islamic start, the law start, and what is it defined? What is defined? Is it Sharia law? And how would it impinge if PAS got into power? Let's say you use the word bedmates and things like that. How is it going to impinge on the wider Malaysia, the non-Muslims? You're not talking about 5 years or 3 years, but say 20, 30 years, essentially next generation.
okay. Firstly, about the question of self-interest. We assume that when they want positions of power in federal government, it's not purely for personal interest, but they believe that with that, then the purpose and the objective of the party can be achieved. Right? So I mean, we assume that that is the motivation. Yeah? But obviously, it's a very short-term kind of victory, but it's going to have very bad long-term consequences. With respect to the position of PAS, it is an Islamic party. Right? So we're completely convinced that the Islamic Sharia system is that which will ensure justice. So what has been presented is that the Islamic law will be implemented on the Muslims, but not on the non-Muslims. Right? And what has been proposed is that in states where the majority wants the implementation of Islamic law, say for example in Kelantan, then that they be allowed to do so. So the approach would be like a two-tier system, wherein in the event that we come to power at the federal level, we can only do so in a coalition, be it